Hi, good afternoon. So, I would like to recreate this interaction that I posted on my Twitter last week. Before we start, I would like to show you the components that I created for my initial design, what we're going to create. Okay, these are the components we created. One, two, three, four, five. There are five here, but it's called nesting. Okay, it's you nesting a component inside another component. Same way you would nest your component icon inside this design. It's the same way as we are going to nest our designs. This design is was created by Alex Uyubade on Twitter. You can follow him. I am Alex Uyubade. That's his Twitter account. Okay, I recreated it with auto layout. Okay, just to make it easy to use. If you don't get how auto layout works, I'd advise you watch videos on that. I think I posted a video on how to create auto layout. You can check my channel, you'll see it there. With that said, I think we should just proceed. First of all, we want to do nesting. What we're going to do would be hover state, clicking, yeah, over and clicking majorly. The rest would be included inside. So how do we do that? We want these are tabs. Okay, you have to click on this to open this down. You click on this to open this section on it. Why this one works too. So there should be hover state for the headers first. Okay, I'll call them headers. Public preview task, kickoff, and feedback. There should be hover states there. And how do we do that? The reason for doing auto layout, it's for when you want to close so that the smart animate works fine. It makes it clean to close. First of all, it selects this one, this head, because this is what we want to work with, this section. That's why we have to section it three, so it becomes easy. When we close this, it just moves up. Okay, this is a section separately. These three items are found inside this kickoff, so it needs to be sectioned. We would copy this, okay, take it outside, create, paste it here. I want us to just create a frame so we can put all our components inside. It doesn't become clustered. Now, what we want to do, we want to create a component of this property. Remember, I said it's supposed to be nested. So, as it's supposed to be nested, all components inside would be, treated separately before they will now be joined. So, first of all, I would treat this search bar as a different component. I would select it, create a component that contains this search bar. Okay, maybe I should just name it so it becomes easy. Call it search bar. Reduce the font size to 24, change it to black. So we can name and it becomes easy to understand. Okay, 24 is a bit big. Let me make it 16. Now we are working on the search bar. In search bar, we have different states. On this state, I created just a bit. I created the default state, hover state, clicked state, and how the click state would interact, which is the blinking state, how it will blink when you're clicking on it. How do we do that? First of all, the normal state, I would like to make an adjustment to this color. Okay, it says FAFAFC. So I just reduce the opacity a bit. I'll try to increase this one a bit. Yeah, this is what I'm working on. I'll use this as my default state. I'll change, double click here, change it to default. Click my default state. I want to work on the hover state. I'll rename this hover. Come here, change it to 747475. Oh, sorry, that's not it. That's E4, E4, and E5. And I'll change this one to 747475. So it becomes a bit darker. Remember, when we are working on the hover state, and to um, to respect accessibility, we need to push up this um, placeholder elements a bit darker. The next thing we want to do, we want to create the click state. How would the click state look like? The click state, it would look, it will have three things and two things will happen. Okay, we want this one to be exchanged to become our test that would write. Then we want this to go to the other side. How do we do that? First of all, we change the sizing. It will look like this. This is just what we're going to do. We'll change this to cursor that is blinking, text that's blinking. We'll reduce this one's size back. Okay, create this would give it a different color 453099. Okay, I already wrote all this color down so it becomes easy for me to use. I wrote it down and this finally will be FOFOF2. Okay, we want, so this is a click state, so we want it to show as it's being clicked. And we want the last one we want to create is just a blink. I will call it the blink state because it will keep blinking. This one here, okay, would blink. It would blink. I think from beginning there was a mistake. We're supposed to change everything here because this is what we want to work. Now here would, it's blinking, so here would just close, open, close, open. But that's just what we're going to do. I think this is the interaction for the search bar. But there are still more search bar interactions, okay? More micro ones, but this is what I'm just creating. I've not created the error state and the rest. But this is just what we're going to create for it. We select everything, create component sets. Okay. Now, I would like to rename this from property to state because this is not a property. The property's name is state. There are different properties. There are type, there are numbers, any way you want. But this here, I'm using it as a state. First state is this. Okay. We want, when you hover on this, first of all, I have to explain to you that Figma has some limitations, like conditional interaction has not been worked on Figma, but at least there are some ways we go through it. I will not be able to create everything here because it will not work, but I will be able to create some things. First of all, this is the default state. We want, when we hover on this, it goes to this place. So we change this from on click to while hovering. Okay, it will be on smart animate. We'll do 2 and 300. Why I use 300? I've already tested it. I've worked and tested, but you can check on it yourself and know what works for you. Then normally, if it's on Figma, if it's on other software, we can create on click. Okay, but once you check, you would see a notification here that it will not trigger. So we cannot on Figma add two interaction of a hover state and a click state. So because when you hover on here, it will go to this place. It's not much showing here. So we'll put our on click state here. So from here to here, it becomes a clicked state. Okay, it will just smart animate to this. Why is it using smart animate? Because Figma will remember everything that I saved it here. It just animated smartly. So okay, and I want this one to change to this. This will change in after delay because we are not going to affect anything here. It's just going to blink on its own. This is where we're going to hover to this place, then we'll click to this place. But moving from here to here, it's not our action again. It's depending on time after delay. So we're going to test 1 millisecond first. This is just testing. Okay, we're going to test that. So now after we're done with search bar, we create same thing for this arrow tab here. This tab we create same thing for this tab here. Now the states that I created for it is just 3. First one is the default. I would save it as default. Second one says hover. The last one says clicked. Okay. Now I want to change the color for it. Hover state. The hover state would be the hover state foreground. The background, sorry, will be CD, CD, and D1. A bit darker. I have to work on this too. This one will become a bit darker. And I like using HSB, the hue, saturation, and the brightness. The way I call mine is I call this the color. This one talks about the light and darkness. This one talks about the originality, how original it is. That's how I know it, so it becomes easy to know. So I want to change. I want to work on how original the black would look. If it is 45, it becomes a bit original compared to 55. So that's how I work. That's how I'm using my this thing to work. The next thing is I want to work on the clicked. If you, this will be fixed, okay. So that's what I'm going to just delete this and duplicate this. It becomes easy. Okay, here will be hover state. Here will be clicked state. This hover, I'll change it back to CD D1. While here, I'll just give this one and remove this one. Okay. Once I'm done with that, I would change this text color with here. Then pick this text color because we want to return it back to what it was initially. Okay, that's how it will look like. Select everything, create component sets. Now, if you check, I normally name my components before I start create components, so it becomes easy. You can just okay, it's already on default. This is on hover. This is on click, but you can still do it inside. So it's the same thing too. It just depends. When you click on this, you can come here and change the name. Okay, I'll take outside. I'll change this to state. Now I want when you hover on this whole board and not the whole board entirely, when you hover on it, it comes to this place. So you choose while hovering, smart than 300. It gives you this. Then I want when you click on this, it gives you this. When you click on this, your task gives you this or next one. On click takes you to that next one. When you click on arrow words, it takes you to this place. Okay, this is it. Now remember we said our design are nested properties. So nested means we are combining different components. So first one, I would copy from here. This is not a component, okay? I'm going to change it. What I did was I pasted to replace. Okay, just right click, Control Shift R. That's what I'm using. Paste to replace. Don't mind me. I love using shortcuts very well. So I copy this, paste to replace. Now if you check, I've nested these people inside here. Meanwhile, I wanted to create this as a component. I've nested two components, so I would take this one here, name this preview task. Okay, so this our component would have three states. One will be default, the next one would be hover, and the last one would be click. Now we'll change this to default. What are we changing? We're just going to hide this and this. So you see the importance of having auto layout, so it becomes easy to hide. Okay, now I'm duplicating this, calling this one hover, calling the last one clicks. Okay, so I'm going to change the background for this to show that it's on hover state. I'll add a background, change it to F5, F5, F7. Okay, just to show that it's on hover. Now, if it's on hover, it will look like this. But if it's on clicked, so this is supposed to be the clicked one, I'll open it and open all these things. This arrow here would change. Okay, how do I change it? Shift V, right? Flip vertically. Okay, Shift V, that's flip vertically, because you know this is showing you that. Oh, sorry, I think there's a mistake somewhere, miss up somewhere. Okay, no, there's a mix up somewhere. I got it wrong. These are the ones I'm supposed to, bring down. Why this one faces up here? This is it. Faces up means there are some things under. Facing down means they are opened. Facing down means it's there's something on that, but it's closed at the moment. So since we've named them and we've done our necessary edits, we select the three of them, create component set. Easy PC. So once we're done with that, put this one here. So we just do our interaction, add hover state here, while hovering. This here might still can still be adjusted. Okay, I'm just using it here, not that it's the final one. I can still come back to adjust it. That's how it's supposed to be. When you hover on this, it gives you this. Now when you click on this, I want it. Okay, I think there's a message from here. I'm going to go back, pick this, remove it from here, and put it on top it directly. Okay, so it doesn't look like it's inside. Okay, now when you hover here, it gives you this. When you click on this, remember you cannot put click in here on Figma because it has a limitation, but we can still use this one. So take it here. When you click, it gives you this. This is what prototype can do. Condition. Okay, when you hover, it gives you this. When you click, it gives you this. But Figma cannot do that now. Okay, when you click on this, it takes you to this one. When you click on this particular one, not the whole body, just this particular one, it takes you to the first one. That means it closes it. This is just how it goes. It changes to the first one. Everything here, everything inside component changes. Okay, it's that's the only place this action chain to can work. Okay, so remember these people are nested, so it still carries all this information of hover, click inside here. This is the atom. Not the atom, sorry, molecules, sorry. These are the molecules, and this one here, it's me nesting it up to create other components. So since we are done with this, first thing we'll do is to select this first one, the default one, take it here to replace our our initial one. And this is in auto layout, so it automatically shrinks. That's the power and sweetness of auto layout. So now we'll copy this to build another one. That's what I did. Just copy this, take it here to build a new one. And remember, we're going to do it exactly how this works. So copy one of them outside. Pasting it here so it doesn't give me that problem. Paste it outside. Give it a name. What do we name it as? Shipping info. Okay, now we want to create three things here. One, this is the default state where you've not done anything, just like that. Then there is the hover state. The last one is split states. Okay, we can do different states, not just only these three, but we are going to work with just these three. For the hover states, which change, they don't have fill because there's already a fill here, so they're just relying on the fill of the background. That's why I'm going to add fill for the hover state, and the fill here is F5, F5, F7. Okay, when you hover. Now for the click stage, you can do anything. Okay, you can make this text, can make them colored 453 D99 test themselves. You can give them a bit of background. Let me give them 453 D99. Okay, no, it's wrong, but I would just work on something. Work on 399. 99 is a bit small. 94. Okay, you can do like this as your click state. It depends. Anyone you want. It depends on how you want. Okay, but the one we're going to work with, I think we'll just remove the fill, give it a stroke, a side stroke. I saw this one from one of my friends online. So we're going to work with that, and inner stroke, so it doesn't affect our auto layout. Because I think our auto layout, if I check, is excluding our strokes. So once we do outside stroke, it might just be way out of it. But except we include it, but this one we're not including it, so we're going to exclude it. We'll just copy this, paste it inside. Okay, this is a way of showing that okay, this is the one we selected. Another way, I think the one I did could be these two. So anyone you want, it just depends on what you want. So we are done with this. Select it, create component set. But I don't want us to create component set for now. It becomes too plenty. So I just want to, solve for these people too. Just select everything here, duplicate them, put them down, just copy all this information here, paste them. Okay, once we are done, copy the icon and replace them. Pray this doesn't get confusing for anybody. Okay, so that this doesn't get confusing anybody, it doesn't get confusing. Okay, this is what I did. I was just trying to build something of that nature. It doesn't confuse anybody. For that, create another one. You want for choose your URL. You just copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. Now I'm going to copy this icon here. You place them with this. Place this with this. Place this. And remember, I'm doing replacing by doing Control Shift R, or you can do this is here using the shortcut. One thing, there's an issue here. I'm going to change this to default. That works to default. Then this one, I'll copy the back color, put it here, put it here, here. Same thing here, change it like this. Okay. I think let me just help us do a demarcation so that it becomes easy. This is for the shaping, this is for the contact. Okay. We're not going to use the line. I'm just trying to make demarcation. So once we are done with all these things, default, hover, default, everything. But to not cause confusion, I'll come here. This says default, but I'll put shipping so I would not get shipping default. Okay, shipping over and shipping click here. This would be sign default, sign over and clicked. Now let me just call this choose. Yeah, please. That's why I changed that, because when we convert them to default to component, it becomes a problem when they are bearing same name. Now this is default. Imagine I change this to hover. Okay, I change this to hover. So if you say the properties and values of this variant are conflicting, change the applied values on this variant to resolve it. Okay, that means this one is bearing hover, this one is bearing hover, and it will not work that way. It will not accept it. You have to give them different names. That's why I was naming this different thing. Okay, I pray you understand. So we select everything here. We're not going to use these two. We select them, turn them to component sets. It's easy as that. Let me just name this one kickoff. It doesn't get confusing. We are doing the nesting, not this one. It can on its own now. So we want, when you click on the, when you hover on this, it takes you to this one. Okay, so we change this while hovering. This one here goes to on click. When you click on this, it takes you to this, and when you click on this, it takes you, that means you're deselecting it. Now, why are we deselecting if we can click on this? When we click on the second one, it changes. And it's the same thing, what I'm saying. Figma doesn't support most functionality. If it's on profile, I can set that I want when I click on this, the rest are deselected. But no, it can't happen on Figma. So we have to just manually make it that when you want to deselect it, you have to click it back. Okay. Imagine I'm on Figma now. If I click on this recreation, it takes me to this page. When I click on view SARS icon, it's supposed to take me to the next page while closing this. But we can't do that interaction here. That if or that's conditional profile. You can't do it here. So that's why I'm using this. So I hope you understand too. This will just change to Y This will change to clicked. We're going to work on we're going to fine tune the settings here. Don't need to worry about that. We're just testing whatever we've done. Y then clicked. Okay, I think we're done with this one. So what we'll do is just copy one of them. Come here, replace that with this. You'll see the purple color here. Yes. So what we'll do now, we'll delete all the people here. As now, why are you deleting them now? Don't worry. We can duplicate the component, change this from this shipping over to sign in default. Okay. Change this one to choose default. I come here to rearrange this. We want